How's it going, everyone? My name is Ben.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are expert fire makers. Today we will be demonstrating to you in our video how to make a fire using the log cabin method.
And we will be showing you variability in practice by using different types of tinders and different ways to light the tinder.
Alright, so to make a fire you need three things. You need heat, oxygen, and fuel. Here we have three different heat sources. The first being a knife and metal where we can get a spark. The second one is a simple box of matches. You just take the match, strike it, get a flame. Or the third method is a 9-volt battery and steel wool. You can buy steel wool at your local hardware store, and if you simply touch the battery to the steel wool, you'll get a flame.
So Ben just showed you guys three different ways to start a fire. Here, I'll show you three different varieties of tinder you could use. The first one being pine needles, the second, dry leaves, and the third, a dried corn husk. If you don't have these materials readily available, you could always go out and look for any dry or dead plant vegetation that could be used as tinder.
Alright, so I've shown you three different methods of how to get a heat source for your fire, and Kevin has shown you three different fuel sources for your fire, the tinder that you'll use in your fire, and the next thing you want to do is find a suitable place to light your fire. This can really be anywhere you want it to be, as long as it has a flat surface and some sort of protection to keep the oxygen circulating. Remember, you want heat, fuel, and oxygen to light your fire. So right now we're going to be using this barbecue pit as our fire source.
Now that you have found your suitable area to make your fire, we need to go get sticks now. Here we have some sticks. You want to make sure they're not attached to trees because we want dry/dead branches. And here, they're not attached to anything, and they're dry, and these will be a good fuel source. Alright, so now that we found a suitable place to make our fire, got our sticks, and we got some tinder, first thing we want to do is lay down our tinder. This will act as a base for when we use our heat source, the tinder will catch on fire.
So you've got your tinder laid down on the place you want to light your fire. The next thing we're going to do is take our heat source, which is the steel wool and the 9-volt battery. So you want to take your steel wool, take it out, and you want to just lay it on top of the tinder that you've already put down. So we're just going to lay it right on top of the tinder that Kevin has put down. Now you've got your tinder and your heat source. The next thing we're going to do is start to build the log cabin. To build the log cabin, you want to start with a strong base. You're going to use bigger sticks towards the bottom. The end result should look like a log cabin, so any way of stacking the sticks, as long as it looks like a log cabin, it'll work fine. You want to contain your tinder and your heat source in the middle of the log cabin.
And for every layer of large sticks, you want to add some smaller material in between so it can catch on fire. keep on adding.
So Kevin is adding sticks to the log cabin. As you can see, it's creating a square shape.
And you want to top off the cabin
With a roof.
and make a roof.
Every log cabin needs a roof. Alright, so now that we have constructed the log cabin, you can see it's in a square shape, and we've got our tinder and our heat source inside the fire, excuse me. You always want to make sure you have some water nearby just in case things get crazy. And now we're going to take the heat source and we are going to light the fuel underneath the log cabin. So here we go. Just touch very carefully with the battery. You should get a light. And you want to provide oxygen to the fire. To make sure it's getting that oxygen. So now you've got your heat source, your tinder, and your oxygen. And as you can see, the flame is taking its course. You just keep providing the fire with oxygen and it should take off on its course. So, as you can see, we've created our log cabin with our tinder and our heat source, and the fire is going pretty well, but now to keep it under control, we're going to want to put it out. And to put it out, you always want to have some water available, and you're going to want to pour it directly onto the heat source to put out the fire. So, I'm going to take the water, pour it on there. And there you have, the fire is out. So with these variability in practice and the different methods of how to light the fire and the different tinders you can use to start the fire, I hope we have provided you with enough information on how to start a log cabin fire. Thank you. Alright, I hope our demonstration has been helpful to you guys. 3 key things you want to remember when starting a fire are to have
Oxygen, heat, and fuel.
Once you have those 3 things, as you can see, you want to create your log cabin in a square shape. Make sure your tinder is underneath it, and
Make sure you have a suitable way to light your tinder, such as the steel wool and the batteries.
you also want to make sure that your sticks are very dry. You can find them from any place as long as they're dry and dead.
I hope you enjoyed our expert demonstration on how to build a fire log cabin.
And I hope that the variability in practice in the ways that you can start the log cabin helped with the 3 different flame sources and the 3 different fuel sources. And my name is Ben.
I'm Kevin.
And see you next time.